Have you ever heard the saying, never do something for free, especially if you're good at it? Well, this is a direct correlation to the hot topic that's going on with the NCAA and paying college athletes. For me, I grew up loving sports, watching sports, playing sports, and now attending Kansas State University, um, being friends with a lot of D1 athletes. I know why this is such a hot topic. Over the course of this speech, I'll present four main ideas. These will be the revenue that the NCAA is pulling in as well as colleges, the amount of time players are spending at their sport and not in the classroom, the argument that scholarships are enough for these athletes, and then finally a solution for paying them that would be beneficial not only for fans but also for the players. My first point again was the amount of money that the NCAA and colleges are making off men's basketball and football. Darren Rovell of ESPN reported that during the 2016-2017 season, the NCAA raked in over $1 billion in revenue. Their big money maker is, of course, the March Madness men's basketball tournament that takes place in March and April, raked in over $761 million. USA Today showed us that Texas, in Austin, Texas, the Longhorns, is the big moneymaker for college sports, and they raked in over $214 million in revenue. The school I currently attend, Kansas State University, brought in over $86 million, which ranked 45th in the nation. With all of that being said, none of that money was given directly to the student athletes that were performing for these schools. The second point is the amount of time that these players are putting in. Business Outsider had a report that took place at North Carolina back in, I believe, 2011, of athletes spending over 40 hours a week practicing for their sport. The NCAA has a rule put in place that only allows for 20 hours a week while in season or 4 hours a day. However, there is a loophole for this rule. That loophole includes weights, conditioning, voluntary workouts, film sessions. None of that is included in the 20-hour-a-day work. North Carolina also had a report that said their average time was 30 hours a week, which takes time away from their classroom studies, their books, any school-related activities because they're spending so much time at practice. GPA requirements are held very high for student athletes. They're also held to a higher standard while at school, but they're never in school. They're always either traveling or at practice. Why do we hold them to such a high standard if they're not going to be able to meet that standard? This brings me to my third point, that scholarship is enough. First of all, not every player earns a scholarship or gets a scholarship. Second of all, what I just talked about, more time is spent at practice than in the classroom. The scholarship should be used to pursue their degree, not to pursue their sport. Also, a lot of these young men have the dream of going professional one day. They dream of making it to the highest level attainable. But sometimes you have to realize that that dream isn't going to happen. However, a lot of these guys realize that dream a little too late, and not everyone goes pro. They might realize this their junior or senior year, and that by that time they're so far behind with their degree because they've had to take limited classes or they failed classes that they no longer can pursue that dream, and then their degree no longer means anything because they have to drop out. They don't have the money to spend or anything like that. Finally, I present to you a solution of why these young men deserve to be paid. Joe Nocera of the New York Times has published many articles, many magazines, I believe a book about this specific topic. It starts with a salary cap. All professional sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, all have a salary cap. This means that football would get $3 million, men's basketball would get $650,000. Each team in America would have that salary cap, and that would mean that the lowest amount of salary, minimum salary for each player would be $25,000 and a 6-year scholarship. That 6-year scholarship allows them to take less classes during their season and would allow them to pursue a degree later on if they are not able to go pro. Another fun thing that would be involved in this would be to recruit based off of cash, offering that 5-star athlete cold hard cash to come to your school. This is already going on illegally, so why not make it legal? There's an entire FBI investigation going on right now in men's basketball where people are paying boosters, coaches, anybody to get that young recruits come to their school. They should also be able to make money off their own likeness, their image, jersey sales, autographs, pictures, any of that. Why are we paying coaches and athletic directors millions and millions of dollars instead of the players? An example of that is Jim Harbaugh, the head football coach at Michigan University, made $7 million 1 year, just in 1 year, while his players got none of it. So in conclusion, we should be paying these student athletes. I presented these 4 main ideas: the revenue that the NCAA as well as colleges are making, the time that these young men are putting into their sport, the argument that scholarships are enough when in reality they really aren't, and finally a solution that would allow these students to be paid and allow for us fans and for the players to enjoy a better life and have a better time. These young men are used for their talents and not reaping any of the benefits. Give them some money.